The honeypots. The honeypots is a advanced concept in the world of security that we need to know about. What is a honeypot? A honeypot is a trap, is a decoy machine, is something that is unreal, that is made inside your network to attract attackers. The goal of the presence of honeypot is to know more about the attacker, his identity, his way of attacking, to get some more evidence from him, to get some more forensics about him, and to be able to know him more, and consequently to be able to protect yourself in a better way from him. The honeypot can be a host trap or a network trap. For example, you can set a host inside your network to be a honeypot by running real services on a sacrificial computer or simulated instrumented services. For example, you can run the web servers on a computer that is not really containing web pages or containing HTML content, which means that it is a fake web server with empty content. Why do you do so? To attract attackers targeting your real web server to this server, and then to know more about them, to know how are they attacking, their IP addresses, their malicious software they are using, their techniques of attack, and to get evidence and forensics against them, to be able to face them in the court, for example, and to be able to know more and configure your defense devices more to be more defensive against them. The honeypot can be a network trap, a full network of fake machines that the intruder thinks they found a vulnerable organization, not only a machine. A vulnerable organization containing a fake web server, DNS server, mail server, and other machines. Some of the honeypot softwares or systems can do so, can convince the attacker that he has found a vulnerable organization and keep attacking him and keep collecting information about him. Then he would fall in this trap to be faced by his cyber crimes and by his attacks he's trying to do. Once more, the honeypot is a decoy. If a real machine comes hot or becomes a very hot target for the attackers, becomes attacked so many times per day or per week, you can think of changing the IP address and domain name of this real machine and put in a honeypot instead. Put in a fake machine acting the same service instead, but with no content. For example, a fake web server or something like this. So you have protected your machine, your real machine, by changing the IP address and name, and you have attracted the attacker to know more about this malicious software or this person trying to attack your network through this decoy machine or through this honeypot you have set up. DNS, mail servers, web servers make great honeypots on their unused ports. How you can do so? You can monitor the unused ports of the web server, the port numbers that are other than port number 80 can be monitored for persons who are trying to contact this web server on port number 20 or 21, for example. For example, you can know more about these attackers and why are they attacking this machine specifically on a port number that has no service instrumented on it, that has no service, real service on this port. And you can know their IP, their way of attacking, and then you can build a defensive system that is more efficient in facing them. When to use the honeypot? The firewall properly configured stops any type of attack trying to attack a machine on a port number that is not supposed to be active. But you cannot learn anything about the attacker at this time. So you can use the honeypot to attract the attacker to know more information about him, which might be fruitful and might be beneficial to build a better defensive system against his attacks. Why to use the honeypots? If you have mail servers or web servers or DNS servers that attract most of the fire on the internet, you can have their unused ports instrumented, as we have said. The end result could be to slow down the pace of the attacker and increase the arrests of the attacker. The honeypot is an advanced technique, and this is a very important sentence. This is a very important thing to keep in mind. The honeypot is an advanced technique. Either you set up a honeypot and you are 100% sure that it is fruitful and beneficial, or you give up the idea. You do not set up this honeypot at all. Do everything else before setting up the honeypot. Establish a firewall, configure it correctly, use encryption, use passwords, patch your systems, upgrade your operating systems, and do everything else. The best way to capture new worms for analysis is using a honeypot. You can have the risk of having attacker to use the honeypot if they break the controls. The honeypot is supposed to be a wake machine to attract attackers. So think of the risk you are having when setting up a honeypot. If it is not 100% safe, give up the idea and think of something else as a defensive technique other than the honeypot. Some of the well-known honeypots or honeypot products over history has been the Deception Toolkit, the Semantic Decoy Server, previously named as Mantrap, the HoneyNet or the HoneyD. These were some softwares intended to be honeypots that were installed on systems and sometimes installed on a full network to convince the attacker that there is a vulnerable machine or a vulnerable network here. Come and try your attacking techniques, and then you can collect evidence and you can know more about his attacking techniques. Thank you.